And what about the Bradley Manning case, if you want to opine on that? I don't think he is a client of yours. That seems to me to be a more difficult case. Tom was scrupulous about not disclosing classified information. If Bradley Manning did what he's accused of, then he did in fact disclose voluminous amounts of classified information, including battlefield intelligence that could be of use to an enemy.
Yeah, well, in terms of Bradley Manning, we have a similar problem that we have with all of the Espionage Act prosecutions, and Manning is also charged under the Espionage Act, which we have yet to hear the United States articulate any specific harm that's been done by the leak or any benefit to a foreign nation. Clearly, the collateral murder video absolutely was whistleblowing on war crimes. A lot of the other cables, which I don't actually know a single person who's read all 250,000 of them, reveal other very problematic things. Yes, some of it's embarrassing, but with Manning, we ended up having this degree. I mean, it's an argument over, not over kind, but over degree, and he leaked or disclosed too much. And I've represented another whistleblower or worked with another whistleblower who's in jail right now because he held back and disclosed too little. And I think we have to look at the actual content of these disclosures, and the government's very quick to gloss over the disclosure he made of what's been dubbed the collateral war video. And I don't know why there haven't been more questions about why our troops in an Apache helicopter are gunning down innocent Iraqi civilian and children as if they were playing the state of war or some other video game and high-fiving each other.
Daniel Ellsberg, who's sort of the archetypal leaker, said recently that, in his opinion, his case and that of Bradley Manning were largely indistinguishable. I thought that was actually incorrect, and that they are distinguishable in several ways. In the case of the Pentagon Papers, Ellsberg, not only did he read every word, he wrote many of the words in the Pentagon Papers and knew exactly what he was releasing. In the case of Manning, again, presuming, which may not be correct, presuming that he did what he's charged with doing, not only is it unlikely that any one person read the hundreds of thousands of records, it's unlikely that Manning read them, it seems to me. And if he did, it's unlikely that he was in a position to appreciate their exact sensitivity. Ellsberg also, it's not widely known, he actually withheld 4 volumes of the Pentagon Papers, which he deemed too sensitive to release. And Manning, as far as we know, did not withhold anything. And then lastly, Ellsberg turned himself in. He said, yeah, I did it. Give me the consequences. And Manning was identified involuntarily. So it seems to me there are some difficulties associated with his case. Unless the government were to say that, well, if you're disclosing it to a publisher, then that's fine, we can't stop you. But if we're going to say that some information is not meant to be disclosed, then they need to take some kind of remedial action, probably some legal action. And
I can't speak for Ellsberg himself, but I think, contrary to what you said, that Manning actually he had access to much higher level information than that which he disclosed. And so he is like Ellsberg in that way. I think Ellsberg also sees the parallel in terms of there had not been a disclosure of such a high volume of information since he had revealed the Pentagon Papers until Bradley Manning. I think that's where he sees another parallel. And again, the focus on having the full force of the entire executive branch going after the person who's trying to reveal, in Manning's words, I think what I'm seeing is a crime. I think most people would be mortified by this. I don't know if I can live with myself if I keep this to myself. I think Ellsberg had identification there in terms of the call of conscience. So yes, there are differences, and but certainly the response of the country, I mean, with Ellsberg, I mean, it went all the way up to the president attacking him, and with Manning and Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, with there being a worldwide manhunt. And you have to wonder, you know, how our resources are being used to quiet those who are trying to release or bring about some pretty controversial information, and actually going after people who are really our enemies.